What's going on, everyone? It's Justin, owner and operator of Black Bear Creative. So today I'm going to discuss the topic of why cars are so loud when I make these videos. I don't understand. No, I'm going to talk about why good brand design won't fix your bad product. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, when we're sort of engaging with a new client and we're having discussions, not only am I getting the information about the project in terms of the overall scope of the project, what I'm also doing is sort of trying to understand how the client is intending to implement their idea in terms of making it into a reality. And if I think that this possible client has fundamental issues with their product or service, this is the time where I would bring it up in the discussion and sort of see what their thoughts are on how they're planning to deal with these issues, make changes in the future to improve their product or service. If they're the type of person that, are stuck in their ways and they don't see those fundamental flaws, then they're the type of people that I won't work with. Purely because I don't want to let them down when we do our end of the project, create an awesome brand identity, implement it, and then they fail regardless due to their poor customer service or their product just wasn't up to par with, what they were promising. We tend to avoid those type of projects and only work with people that have a decent product or have that really understand how they're going to implement their idea. So this is where the idea of this topic came from. So I'm going to go through a couple of points, hopefully help educate those that are looking into getting a new brand identity for their new business or looking to rebrand their established business. So the first important thing is design is not a magical band-aid. And what I mean by that is, like I said before, a lot of entrepreneurs, people that are creating new businesses or looking to rebrand can get really excited about the project and neglect the fact that there are fundamental issues with their product that they're not dealing with. They're not dealing with customer feedback and having this expectation or putting all their eggs in this basket of, if we get this new rebrand and get this new logo design, it's going to show the brand in a new light, we're going to get new type of customers and everything's going to be all right, and most people understand that that's not true. The world doesn't work like that. But I just want to make sure that if you are thinking like that, it's just not going to work. Like I said, it's not a magical band-aid. It won't fix everything. What good branding does, it's sort of like a double-edged sword. And what I mean by that is good branding will get you more attention of what you're doing, whether it's a product or service that you're selling. But in turn, if you have a terrible product, it's just going to bring more and more people to your terrible product. So you're going to get more bad feedback and you're going to get more negative responses and you'll go out of business quicker. So, you're going to understand that good brand design is one part of a strategy. Potential customers will interact with your brand multiple times before they even opt in or purchase. For example, me personally, when we're talking about YouTube videos and stuff like that, I will watch a certain channel multiple times, watch episodes here and there on other different social media platforms as well. And it will take me a good couple of episodes before I even think about, subscribing to the channel, looking at their products. It takes time. Like it takes more than one touch point. So this is the thing, when you're focusing purely on one strategy with whether it's just a good brand design, you're neglecting, what does the customer journey look like? What's our customer experience look like? If there's any issues in terms of the product, what do we do then? Like if you're not thinking about those things and you're just thinking about brand design, then you're sort of leaving a lot on the table, and you're sort of playing a very limited strategy, playing a limited game. So another important point I want to bring up is that your logo embodies your brand, and your brand is a promise you make to your customers. So what I really want you to ask yourself is your product and service ready? Is it ready to live up to your brand promise? Because there's no point, working on your brand, figuring out your brand attributes, what your brand stands for, creating an awesome brand identity design to work with that, and it's all consistent. You do everything right, and then realize that your product doesn't live up to any of those promises or any of those values. You're being a hypocrite, and people will know that within using your product. So yeah, really think about making sure that you're authentic to your brand and your products and services live up to that. And the last point I wanted to bring up is, personally, especially with Black Bear Creative, I like to take things in a very holistic approach. Just like health, exercise is great, but exercise is better when you eat healthy food, and then those two things are great, but it's even better when you look after your mental health, and so, you know what I mean. So it's better just to take a holistic approach to branding. So having great branding, great products, a great customer journey, and an overall better customer experience, and which all starts from when they see your logo, engage with your brand, whether in your store or scrolling through a social media feed, and clicking on an ad, or at the end of the journey when they're reviewing your product. You got to understand that a good brand identity design, it brings everything else up. So just make sure you're playing a multi-level game. That makes sense. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully this sheds some light into how good brand design works, and just give you some ideas to think about if you are thinking about starting up a new business and you need a new brand identity, or you're looking to redesign an established business. There's some crucial things just to think about and be aware of. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.